How's it going, everybody? I am Preston Johnson.
Welcome to
Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV.
As a general philosophy.
That's exactly right. You're a fish.
Qwan, by the way, my producer, Qwan Young, doing a good job. He'll be taking the calls. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, man, how are you?
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome to the show, Bets TV, bringing you Last Word Cheetah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Last Word Cheetah in the Bets TV studios here in Southern California. I am Preston Johnson, your host, here in the studio with the Qwan Young. He is my co-host. He's producing, doing it all. We take your calls, 661-515-BETS. Talk over the weekend, college, NFL. Any thoughts going forward here? I think it's week 13 for college now, week 12 for the NFL, if I recall. Plus, we got a bunch of hoops. Yeah, Qwan says yes. Well, how was your weekend, by the way?
Listen, I actually made some money this weekend.
Really? I think that's the second time all year.
The second time, yeah. I hit 4 unders. Lions.
Wow. Why were you going unders heavy?
It just felt like an under heavy. There were a lot of backup quarterbacks and everything.
That is true. It was ugly, man. For people that like to just watch like good people playing quarterback, yesterday was not the day to do that. Because then you even had some people taking over. Like we got some Andy Dalton in there.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that you had a bunch of the backups anyways, like Boyle and Simeon, Cam Newton. I don't know. It's just kind of a mess.
How dare you put Cam in that class?
I mean, they lost to the Washington football team, which was one of the two plays we talked about last week that we actually liked. I think Patrick was on the Houston one. And he switched to money line.
Yep.
Houston takes care of business on the money line. That was one though that
Carlos was on Washington.
Yeah, Carlos was for sure.
Yeah, it was.
Look, you had like Joe Flacco played. There's a few more I'm probably forgetting off the top of my head, but it was, yeah. It's a weird state.
There's one thing that I really wonder. You were all on Tyrod Taylor in the summer.
Yeah, and they were pretty good when he played at the beginning of the year.
Can you imagine if the Texans had him all season?
I was already patting myself on the back like 2 weeks into the year, and then he gets hurt the first quarter of game 3. But you're right, like they're probably going over that win total. I was like, 4 is just way too low. They're not going to go 3-14 enough, I don't think. Now it is when Taylor gets hurt for the majority of it, but they still got a shot, right? So, I mean, it's not completely dead either way. Their defense it was like the perfect setup because it was like raining, and especially the second half, it was pouring. No run game for the Titans without Henry. Julio has been hurt, and then A.J. Brown got hurt during the game. So it was kind of like a nice little setup for Houston, just surprise. But I think Tennessee's still in first anyways in the AFC, which is weird enough. But they get the Pats, which one of the plays, Patrick, I believe, called in. He said, I'm going to bet the Pats -3 now. Because if they beat the Falcons and then the Titans lose, which he really thought was going to happen, the number is going to be way higher, which I believe last I looked, it's like 4.5. So he got ahead of that line move. I know there was even some 2.5s earlier in the week. So it was a good NFL weekend. Had my first losing college football Saturday, though, went 4-5. And that La Tech Southern Miss under, which we were complaining about in the Discord, the Last Word Cheetah Discord, that swung it. It went from 4-5. Could have been 5-4, 2 defensive TDs, and a 3rd and goal from the 20 TD in the last 6-something. I'm still frustrated about that one. That was a Friday night game. But regardless, we move on. Have 4 plays that I like that are still currently available as of like 30 minutes ago when I looked at numbers. So we'll go through those near the end of the show. And until then, we'll take your calls, find out how your guys' weekends went and what you're looking at locking in. For our leaderboard, for those that are new, we track the actual callers' bets that they give each day, and we have a leaderboard actually. Do you have an updated one or no?
We got a couple of things that we got to change.
Okay, there was a few like ties on top 5 and top 10 golf futures over the weekend. We got to make sure that Qwan gets the math right. That's not his strong suit. We'll look. It was the Seamus Power guy. There's a 4-way tie for the 4th and 5th spots. So I think 16-1 turns into 8-1. I don't bet golf, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Then the guy who tied for 10th will just be half of whatever the payout was because there was 2 people that tied for 10th. But anyways, we'll get the leaderboard caught up. But there's like 3 or 4 people that are in the mix.
Jim.
Up 15 to 16 units, right?
Jim, Tom, and Mike. And OG John maybe.
He might be making a push now because he gets 8 units from that. Yeah. Nick was first, you said?
Yep.
Okay, Nick, how'd your weekend go, man? How are you doing?
Hey, doing all right. Saturday was basically a break even Saturday, and NFL made a little bit, so could have been better, but not disastrous by any means.
Not bad.
Just to give you both like kind of a little bit of a heads up, it's not as bad as it was on Friday, but phone line, just hearing you guys, it sounds pretty choppy again. I can hear you guys a little bit better than last time, but
Okay.
just giving you a heads up, it is choppy.
You sound different this time, too. Are you calling from your headset?
No, I'm calling from my phone right now. This is just on the phone line.
Okay, so the phone lines are just still like wonky, but you sound a little bit more
Echoey.
robotic and echoey than normal, which is okay. We just, we'll get through it. It's all good. Do you have a college football play early that you want to lock in for the week?
Yeah, I'm a little bit terrified how many college football plays I like at this point in the season for this week. But for this one, I'm doing this for Qwan because I actually played against his boy Lester at Western Michigan a couple times recently, and it's worked out. But I'm going to play on him this week, and we're going to lay the 3.5 with Western Michigan on Tuesday.
You know, I was considering that one myself, and I was like, I'm going to wait and see what Nick thinks. But if there's now like this like month where it's the buy low on Western Michigan over the last few weeks, it's now you jump in where I feel like I was looking back at, because there's a lot of numbers, especially in some of these games this week, where if you look a month ago, this would be drastically different. Florida State's one I'm going to get at, but I was looking back in week 6, I would have had that game of like 22, and now the market was like 1.5, 2 this morning. 3 weeks ago, I would have made it like 16. So like, is it really a 2 TD swing in 3 weeks? This is another one. I had Western Michigan, Northern Illinois just like 3 weeks ago above a TD. So how much do we want to put into the last 3 weeks? Now, it matters some, but I do think the 3.5 is a little low as well.
I think it's a little bit low. I mean, Northern Illinois is +5 in one possession games this year. They're just winning nearly every coin flip this entire season. And, I mean, if you look at success rate, yards per play, whatever, like Western just checks out a little bit better in pretty much every meaningful statistical category. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit short. So, got to take the value. And, you know, the other thing also is, I mean, Western's got 6 wins, but if there's more than 82 bowl eligible teams, 6-6 in the MAC does not necessarily guarantee you a bowl. So there's a little maybe of an edge there. And Northern Illinois has already locked up the MAC West, so they technically don't have something to play for if you want to throw in a little motivational edge too.
That is true on the MAC front. The 6-6 MAC team is probably the first to go. Real quick, there's a -3, -116. I'm guessing you prefer that to -3.5, -104.
-16 to -104 off the 3. Yeah, we'll take the 3 -116. Might as well.
I think it's quite a bit better by like 10 or 11 cents. So we'll lock you in for that -3.
Perfect. Sounds great, Preston.
Go, man. Talk to you later.
Cool. Thanks. That's
See ya. I'm trying to load the unabated tool to give you the exact price, but for some reason it's not logging me in. But I will get that in the meantime. Who's up next, Qwan?
Got Jim in Philly.
What's up, Jim? How was your weekend?
It was okay. I was going to say too, you come in a little bit choppy, but I could hear Nick very clear. So
interesting.
I don't know how you can hear me.
All good. You sound fine. It's okay. It's not that bad. It's just a little echoey. Oh, weird. It might just be my IFB then if it's clear. Yeah. All right, man. What do you actually real quick? This just loaded for me. Unabated, a 3.5 at -104 is equal to a -3 -127. So -116 is about 11 cents better. Just wanted to get that out there for people that care. Jim, what do you want to lock in early this week for your bet?
Yeah, I actually was going to mention that because I actually laid it with the Bucks tonight for the show. I'm going to take a crack at a first TD, but yeah, I think a juice 3 on the Eagles is probably good for next week. I think it should be closer to 4.5, 5, and if the Giants get their teeth kicked in tonight, that's probably going to hit 4 pretty fast. So I actually was going to bring that up.
Jim's drinking the Kool-Aid. That's what you're saying. The Philadelphia Kool-Aid.
I bet the Saints last week, so I'm not. But, hey, I mean, the O-line's just mauling everybody right now. So on offense, they're just tough to stop. But tonight I will take first TD. I can't just sit back and play scared. So I'm going with Chris Godwin.
All right, let me go ahead and pull up his pricing. First TD, we got 8-1. That's the best price I see. Does that work?
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. We'll lock it in for you, man. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you later on.
All right, later.
See ya.
What's the prize pool at?
Drew put in $250. You put in 50 because you always put in 50 because Carlos never wins. And that's it. I haven't done anything. I haven't lost any bets yet this month. So there's 300 currently. But usually we get it up to 700 or 800. Maybe we'll do something for Thanksgiving. I don't know. We got to think through it.
We got Hayden and Dallas up.
Hayden, what's up, man? How are you doing? How was your weekend outside of Dallas?
Yeah, Sunday was absolutely brutal. I put a responsibly large wager on the Dallas Cowboys because I was at the game. Not good. Not good. That's all
I
I'm
honestly
saying.
thought about you
we're
after
gonna move past it.
after CeeDee Lamb got injured, Zeke was injured, Cooper was already out. You guys couldn't move it on the KC defense. I was thinking about you. I was hoping you didn't go too crazy, but you were extremely confident. You were betting Dak MVP last week too. Look, sometimes it goes the other way. It happens.
Yeah, that Dak MVP ticket might as well be dead. Well, maybe not. But pick I'm gonna give you all is what is North Texas money line?
I know a lot of people that like North Texas this week. I'm going to look up the money line. I know the line's moved from.
So
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You said a lot of people like North Texas. I've just noticed over the past 3 weeks, they're always getting bet and getting steamed. And UTSA is barely winning, and North Texas at home. So
Yeah, the line was 12, moved down to 10.5 most spots. You can get plus 340 still on the money line. Does that work?
Yeah, I'll take that. Gotta go big toward the later of the month here. So
cool. We will give that to you, man. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
Bye. Who do we got up next?
We got Patrick's up. Hunter also hopped in the chat and said that 50 in from the first caller thing that we did. And
oh, that's right. Did he? I think he actually sent it to me already. Let me check my Venmo. What do you call it? The activity. Hold on. Yeah, Hunter did send 50. So there's 350 in there then. Officially. All right, Patrick. Welcome to the show, man. How'd your weekend end up?
Oh, it ended up pretty well. David Culley, he's got a special place in my heart now, even though he doesn't embrace his analytics. So, yeah, it was a perfect storm in Nashville. Titans kept turning the ball over. They got banged up, and Texans hung on to win. So, made me very happy.
It was wonderful. That ended up being, I think, obviously it's easy to say now, but that was just my favorite play of the weekend anyway. You also had a team in Buffalo that no-showed that looked horrible against Indianapolis. So there were a couple games there that were weird results, but just easy underdog plays that worked out. Looking ahead to this week, are you going to go NFL then? You're going to jump for the weekend?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
You know what? I have the Vikings at 3.5 and the Falcons Jaguars under already in the hopper for this weekend. At 3.5, I'm surprised that line's even above 3. I'm not going to take that today, but I would certainly recommend betting that if it's still 3.5. But today I'm going to take a flyer on Kyle Rudolph anytime touchdown at plus 900 at FanDuel. Dimes has thrown 3 touchdowns to his wide receivers over the last 2 games, and Kyle Rudolph, for his minimal targets that he gets, he's got a very high percentage of red zone targets. So I think that's a pretty fair price for an anytime touchdown for him. So let's
9-1, definitely still there. Yeah, that works for me.
All right. Oh, and I got through on UCLA, USC cash it.
There are two of you that cashed, day 4 of Who Wants to Be Betting Extraordinaire today in about 45 minutes. 3 questions from $25K. So I like the one tonight. It is going to be NFL related. It'll be different. We haven't really done a question like this one yet, but I was thinking it up earlier this morning. Keep your who scores a touchdown hat on for the next hour. Just be mulling it over. I'll leave it at that.
All right.
All right, man.
I'll be doing
We'll talk to you later on.
All right, see you.
Bye.
We got John. John wants to break down, or I want John to break down this play.
All right, John, break down it was the top 5 CMIS power, correct?
Sure, yeah. And what that is, it's a tie for 4th. So that gives you 2 positions, 4th and 5th. So that's 2 positions, and you had 4 guys tied for that position. So it would be 2/4, which is half. But it's half your actual payout. So even though the odds were 17-1, for this contest, it actually knocked it down to 8-1. So 8-1 would be the correct payout on that.
Okay, that's what I said at the beginning of the show.
Part.
So I think we got it right.
Yeah, you did. You had
Okay.
you had it nailed. And but it's not always half. Some people just think it's half. It depends on how many people tie and how many spots are available for that tie. If that makes sense to you.
Right, yeah. If everyone tied for second, if 4 people tied for second,
Right.
you'd get paid in
I would
full.
only got right. I only got 4th if it was a tie for 5th, obviously, because there was 4 guys tied for 4th. So that's the way it works. It's dead heat rules. You can look it up on the internet, and it explains it very well. So just to let everybody know.
Someone posted it in the Discord too. I think Mike. So I don't know if Qwan actually read it or not.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I sort of foreshadowed it, and everybody was taking these top 20s. I was like, it's not, you're not going to get the full value a lot of times. So just a side bit.
Yep. You have anything for us today? I don't know if there is golf, right? Someone was saying last week that golf is winding down.
The golf season, it ended quite well for me, though. The wave advantage really didn't come into play like a lot of people thought. It was a little advantage to go early on Friday, but the actual course really didn't play out like people thought. So it was interesting. But I sort of swept the matchup, so I got pretty lucky there. So it was a real good week. Ball was a wash again.
Very nice.
Tonight I'm looking at not first time touchdown, anytime touchdown for a guy for the Giants. I think they have to get involved, and that's the rookie Tony. I mean, that's their only chance, I think, to get him involved. And I think he's going to be healthy after the bye week. He was not healthy against the Raiders at all. So I'm hoping he's healthy, and I'm looking for any time touchdown for Tony.
All right, let me look up Kadarius.
I think I saw 350 on DraftKings. So.
I said to look up his first name. I didn't remember what it was. I just plugged it into my Finder. Plus 350. Yeah, that's the best price. The other 2 are lower.
That is.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take that for the contest.
Cool. We will lock it in, man. Good luck tonight.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
Excuse me. Who do we got up next?
Hunter in Houston.
Hunter, what's up, man? How'd your betting weekend go?
Man, it was actually good. I ended in the green, so that's always a plus.
Always. Well done. Nice work. What are you looking at for today that you want to lock in?
I got a lot of catch up to do, so I'm going to lock in Evan Ingram first touchdown scorer.
All right, let me pull up his pricing real quick. Using the prop shop at FTN, you can plug in anyone's name, and it'll give you all of their props at all the U.S.-based books, which is pretty nifty, actually. Scoring a TD, just anytime touchdown, right? Or first TD?
No, I want first.
18-1. That's the best price there.
Sounds good to me.
All right, any reasoning here on Ingram, or are you just trying to take a shot on someone in that range?
Yeah, kind of just trying to take a shot at someone in that range. Evan Ingram, past 3 weeks, he's been playing better, more targets. So I'm hoping Giants can maybe get the ball first. Not a fan of Buccaneers defense, and maybe come down and squeeze one out.
Sure. Okay. Right on, man. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you later on.
All right, yes, sir.
See ya. next.
Got Carlos.
Carlos, what's up, man? How'd your weekend go?
My weekend was wonderful, but I need these people to put some respect on my Washington football team. They played great. And I can't believe that Seattle opened, I believe, at 3.5, and now it's at pick for a Monday night game. They need to respect my team. What's going on, Preston?
I think the 3.5 that it shows on screen, I think was the look ahead number, like before the games yesterday. So you could have bet that through Saturday, but when it reopened yesterday, it opened at pick or 1.5. I guess was actually the first number I see potentially on Seattle, but it was never 3.5 since the results from yesterday. For what it's worth.
Okay, look ahead. Okay, got it. Well, I think they're going to win on Monday. I mean, Seattle, Russ is not happy. He doesn't look happy. He's not playing happy. Something's going on over there, but I think we can get 3 in a row. I really do.
It's a pick. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You can lock it in if you want now. I can't disagree. Oh, no. I liked it last week. It worked out. The line moved your way, too, from 3.5 to 3 pretty much by kickoff Sunday. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's Washington or pass, but can't blame you.
Right. Well, tonight I'm going to take I want to see if you had any odds on Elijah Penny anytime touchdown, the fullback for the New York Giants.
I tried to get him to lock in Washington, and I was like, nope, it's going to be some random. All right, 13-1. Elijah Penny, 13-1.
Can I hear a breakdown on Elijah Penny?
Yeah, break it down for us, Carlos.
They're going to get down in the red zone. They're going to be on the 1-yard line. They're probably going to be down a whole bunch, and he's going to just get into the touchdown like he did 2 games ago. So, yeah.
This is the first touchdown or anytime?
Anytime is 13-1. First TD is 80-1.
No.
Gotta wait to see what he's gonna
He said it's going to be late after they're blown out and they just run one in. All right, man. We'll give you the 13-1. And good luck, man. Guys. We'll talk to you later tomorrow.
All right.
See ya.
All right.
One of these days he's going to bite. We got Christian in Oregon up.
What's up, Christian? How'd your weekend go?
Hey, Preston. It was actually pretty good overall, but NFL, I think I'm just going to lay off of that forever. I think I went like 1 for 5, 1 for 6 yesterday on NFL, but I did something
hold on, I need to interject. That's what everyone says. Like just about every week, it's like I gotta quit the NFL. But then you're back at it Sunday morning, firing more NFL. So that's just how it goes.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't laugh. I already put a unit down on the Bucks tonight. So I say that, but I can't stop. But no, college basketball is just where it's best for me. But even though I did as bad as I did in NFL, I did really, really well in college basketball, and I ended up like plus 7 units again for this week, all because of college basketball. So I think that's just where I'm going to stick with. Except this morning I'm already down. I took Rice minus 5.5, and that loss on the final free throw. But it's all good. We'll take. I'm going to take the game that's coming up here in about like 10 minutes.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
Oh.
Why was the Rice? I'm looking on screen. The Rice final score was 109 to 104. Were there a bunch of overtimes?
Yeah, it was triple overtime.
Oh, okay. I was like, the total was 133.5, 134. It landed 213. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so one that starts soon. What do you want to hit us with?
So I'm going to do the Butler-Houston game that's coming up here, and I'm going to do the over 123.5.
Okay.
Not really. I don't really have any reason why. Just I feel like it's pretty low. Houston's pretty good. Houston scores quite a good bit. I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of Butler, so I can't really say on that. But everything I've looked at, everything trends towards the over. So I'm just going with that.
Houston played Virginia, right? Is that In that game, those are always ugly to watch. It was 114 scored in that game. maybe that's
anything with Virginia is ugly to
bringing
watch.
it down is because they had to play that game already. But I can give you 123, by the way. There's a few 123s, so you don't have to deal with the half point there. Yeah, we'll lock it in, man. Good luck.
All right, perfect. Thanks.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Who do we got next?
We got Jamie up.
Hey, Jamie, what's up, man? How'd your weekend go?
Hey, it was good. I had a really solid Saturday at college, and then I don't bet NFL, so I didn't give myself a chance to give it
There
back.
you go. Learned the hard way at one point, but smart.
Yes. And I believe Patrick and I got through on betting extraordinaire. USC, UCLA flying over.
That was a pretty fun sweat because the Pitt Virginia game got to like 86 or something, and the USC UCLA game wasn't over yet. And then the fourth quarter, the scoring didn't stop. So they got it home for you. But yeah, we got a good question for tonight's Monday Night Football game. So we'll talk to you obviously again here in 35 minutes. But what do you want to lock in for early week college football today?
Well, as you know, I'm done with November.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to keep firing in December, just see if I can get as many picks away in December before anybody else decides to flip to it. So looked like PointsBet had Georgia to win the SEC at like minus 125.
I can see. I see minus 169. It probably changed over the weekend.
Yeah. Minus 169, I would still take if we can't do the minus 125. But
you just have them priced that much better versus Bama?
Yeah, I mean, the money line, well, one, I'm just trying to get picks into December. So even if I make I think that it'll probably be, 4? So, probably talking a money line of, around 175, 200, somewhere in there anyways. It's going to be a little bit of an edge. But even if the money line was 200, I would still take it here just to give myself one more pick in December. But also, I do think that they're that much better than Bama. I don't think that Bama's going to be able to score super well on Georgia. I'm not a huge believer in this year's Bama offense. I know that they looked pretty good against Arkansas, but then again, they only won by 7 because their defense wasn't there. So, I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be better offense than anyone Georgia's had to play all year. But I just think that Georgia's kind of in a class of their own.
So, a couple of things. One, if you think the spread is going to be 4, for those that are curious, it's about 61.9%, which is minus 162. So you're right in that once you get the VIG from the sports book, it's probably going to be minus 175 or minus 180. But a 4-point college football spread projects out to be more like minus 162. Now, you might think the spread should be, I think I've seen Colin Wilson did some look-ahead thing last week, and he had it like 6.5, which is like 67.7%, which is like minus 210. So maybe you're on the higher side there. I personally am more like 3.5. So I'm a little bit the other way, like minus 150. But anyways, just wanted to give some people some context. I don't know what to think because I love Georgia. They were like the only future I really thought was worth betting before the year, the 8-1 or whatever. And they've looked the part, and now they're in like favorite mode against Bama. Just doesn't feel or sit right with me. So I don't know. I just got this hunch that they're going to blow it. Now either way, they're going to get into the playoff, so it won't matter. But for this SEC bet, I'm a little worried. Minus 125, different story. But now at minus 169, I think it would be a pass for me. But we'll lock it in for you anyway. You got an extra play now in December.
All right. That sounds good. And I'll keep firing in December tomorrow.
Sounds good. Take it easy, man. Do you have any thoughts on that game, by the way? I'm not sure if you've watched enough of Bama and Georgia to really have a assumption or an opinion, but
I watched a little of the Arkansas game, I think, towards the fourth quarter. They just
Bama hasn't looked good multiple games, like almost losing to a Florida team that hasn't won a game
Who was the
since
one last week.
Well, it was LSU and then Arkansas were
LSU
close
was close.
games too. Like, I get that, but also there's just something about, to be honest, for one, like Georgia hasn't played an offense as good as Bama's yet, so their defense looks extra good relative to if they played Alabama every week. Obviously, it would be different. So how do you compare that? Georgia's obviously their offense isn't like super crazy elite or anything. Can Bama's defense like slow them down? Of course they could. Nick Saban could slow them down. Like, I don't know. I'm starting to get.
It's a game that they're gonna get up for. Like
Both of them are
were
for
saying-
sure.
Yeah, but you were saying like Cincinnati, are they bored? Maybe Bama's feeling the same thing. Like, they know.
By the way, we basically called that without having betting it. I would have bet it if it got to 9.5. I never did. It got to 10. But since it was like 48-0 in the third quarter against SMU, because they finally were hearing people talk about how they haven't played well, and they were finally playing a good team, and then it was just like 48-0. What now? The same week that Notre Dame was blasting Georgia Tech too, so it was interesting to see. Let me look at one thing. I'm just to kind of give some more context, and then we'll take the call. Before the season, hold on a second. I would have had Georgia, and this is a Georgia team I thought had value at 8-1. I would have had them like 7 points worse than Alabama on a neutral. Like 7.1. Now, I have them like about Georgia 3.5. There's some people that have it even higher. It's hard to think that Alabama and Georgia, although Georgia's better than we thought, Bama's a little worse. Is it really pushing 2 TDs much of a swing? Probably not. It's probably closer to 8 or 9, maybe 10. It's like the top side, and I've been generous bumping Georgia, and I thought I was already super high on them before the season again. So, I don't know. I just think the context of this like market between Georgia and Alabama is really intriguing. Regardless, let's move on to the next caller. Who's up?
We got Ty.
All right, Ty, what's up, man? How'd your weekend go?
It wasn't bad. How was yours?
Pretty good, man. Thank you. What do you want to lock in for today?
I'm going to take Daniel. Did anybody take Daniel Jones' first touchdown score?
No.
I think I see 24-1 at best available, but you might see something better. But I think I'll just take a shot on him running one in to start it off.
First TD on Daniel Jones. Just a second. Yeah, 24-1's the best price.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Sounds good. Plus 2,400, Daniel Jones. Good luck tonight, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Yep. See ya. Danny Dimes running it in.
Oh, he's got the Dimes nickname again now.
Yeah, because he's not actually throwing it, so he's just going to run it in. So,
we got Evan in Los Angeles.
how's it going, Evan? How'd your weekend go?
Weekend was fine. How about you guys?
Likewise, it was good, man. Thank you. What do you want to lock in for today?
I'm going to take Rob Gronkowski on the first TD tonight.
He's I don't even know is he questionable still, or is he a go?
Oh, I don't know. I just figured I would, start shooting for the moon at this point late in the month.
First TD is 11-1, but I want to make sure he wasn't ruled out for you. Let me just double check. Oh, he's good. 3 hours ago, he's cleared. Probably going to play. All right, cool. So 11-1 on Gronk. I don't hate it. It's probably priced a little high just because he has been hurt. So maybe there is something there. Nice. All right, we'll lock it in for you, man. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
See you later.
There's a lot of good first touchdown scorer options.
I mean, at this point, no one's picking like the favorites.
Yeah.
But if someone not Fournette or Evans or Barkley scored, someone's cashing. So It's like basically everyone else is covered outside of all the receiver fours. I haven't heard any receivers. Everyone's going with the fullbacks and tight ends, though.
There was a Godwin.
Yep, well, he's not a receiver four. Like the third, fourth, fifth string receivers. That's what I meant by that. Yeah. Next.
You got Brian.
Brian, another W with the Pats, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Preston. We're in first place in the AFC East, so things are back in order the way they should be.
I don't know how. Jim saw it coming a mile away. You guys are the best. Just if you take care of business this week too, and you get a Tennessee team that's pretty depleted, I think then you're first in the AFC. Like literally, might be the 1 seed with Mac Jones at quarterback. Just unbelievable. Anyways, what do you want to lock in for today?
Well, I think I'm going to go with a first scorer tonight, and I think I might take one of the favorites, just because I know I'm not in the mix, but I'm not too far back.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to take Leonard Fournette. I see plus 650.
Let me check for that. First TD. Where do you see 650? DraftKings?
DraftKings, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That is the best price then. The other ones, are, for some reason, DraftKings didn't populate on this. But, yeah, 6.5 to 1. That'll work.
All right. Thanks, Preston.
No problem. Take it easy. Good luck tonight.
Brighton's about 10 units back, around 5.
All right. This puts him in the mix to some extent.
Last caller for right now, at least, is Hunter B.
Hunter B. How's it going, man? How'd your weekend go?
It was fair. I was did pretty terribly in the NFL, but golf was good.
Nice.
College basketball was decent. So net, it was a little positive.
Take it. Don't mind it at all. What do you want to lock in for today?
I'm going to take Kyle Rudolph at 50 to 1, or actually 55 to 1 first CD.
55 to 1. Hold on. Yep. FanDuel, 55 to 1. All right. What's the angle here? Break it down for us.
Somebody said it earlier, but he does get, he doesn't get a lot of targets except for in the red zone, and he does get a substantial amount of targets. So I just think the number's a little off. Obviously very unlikely to hit, but it probably should be a little bit lower than that based on his number of red zone targets.
Fair enough. I believe it was Patrick that used him at 9 to 1. So 55 to 1 first TD. Look, you win this, you're probably winning the month. So you're taking your shot.
I would hope so.
Can't hate it, man. If not.
And just to further your.
Go ahead.
If not, then whoever else deserves it.
Yeah. What are you going to say?
Just to further your Alabama discussion a bit, for whatever stock you put into it, PFF also had Georgia ranked pretty highly early in the season, and I think their implied odds now have Alabama as like a slight favorite in that game, actually. And they've been a little bit low on Alabama all year and higher on Georgia. So
interesting.
I think it's interesting. Georgia haven't faced good quarterback play yet, and I've called into this show and kind of poo-pooed Bryce Young, but he's playing better. I still don't like Bill O'Brien. I'll pray that Dan Mullen doesn't get another job offer and we hire him next year.
That is right. All right, man. Good luck tonight, and we will talk to you next time.
Thanks, Preston.
See ya. By the way, preseason, because I know that PFF did like a college football guide of sorts. I bought it, looked at it, not too heavily, but was just curious how they did things there because I don't know if they'd done college football content, preseason content prior. They were very priors heavy. Like, I'm not surprised that they're mid-season priors heavy, meaning like very like recruiting class heavy, and teams like Florida and Auburn, who I was lower on preseason, they still had as like top 11 teams in the country. So the fact that Alabama, like at this point in the season, they're probably still weighting their stuff on prior. So I'm not surprised Alabama's picked with them. I'm not sure it's necessarily wrong either. I just keep trying to upgrade Georgia to play catch up to their closing numbers in the market and the fact that they cover anyway almost every week, and that Bama is going the other direction and not covering. So it also could just be a weird month stretch for Bama that I've said it plenty of times, but you can flip a coin 4 times and it goes one way all 4 times. Bama's probably better than they've shown the last couple of weeks. Maybe Georgia isn't quite as good. It's I'm just super intrigued to see where this plays out. By the way, I noticed for your Qwan show Sunday that the BYU helmet was moved. So I'm kind of taking a little bit of disrespect for the Cougars who did beat Georgia Southern. Yeah, Quan's putting it back for me. There you go. I don't know if Zach Wilson's ever going to be healthy again, but we got it back. We need to get you a Lions helmet. Would you feel better about a Lions helmet? Probably not, right?
Absolutely not.
So what do we need? I don't know. You just like the clean desk. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I remembered we forgot to put it back up. That was all I was reminding you.
Absolutely not.
We don't have anyone else, right?
No, we're good.
All right.
You're good to go.
I'll go through my 4. I tweeted about one earlier today. It moved to 2.5, so I apologize. I don't think I actually affected it, though. No one cares about my stuff anymore. It's actually 3 at Circa for what it's worth, but it's 2.5 everywhere else. I referenced it earlier on the show. Florida, 226. Just can't get this low, no matter how hard I try. No joke. Week 6, I would have made this line closer to 22. Week 9, that's 3 weeks ago, I would have made it 16.3. I'm up near a touchdown. I know Florida's looked absolutely horrendous the last couple of weeks. Not 100% healthy. But Florida State, just they're not the better team here. I like anything under a field goal. So, honestly, would lay 3 too. But you don't have to. It's 2.5 everywhere. So, that's the first one. We'll just reiterate. Another one that's kind of a nice buy lowish one on 175 Virginia Tech against Virginia. I'm not into like historical trends, as you guys know. This isn't even a trend, but historically, I think it would take a while before you could find Virginia Tech over a TD dog to Virginia, who's usually the inferior team in school. Kind of going back to priors and recruiting and basically, I know coaching stuff. Burmeister's been back and forth, injured and not, and hasn't played well anyway when he has been on the field. I just can't get this high. Wouldn't bet 7, but 7.5. There's even a couple 8s out there. Got to take the Hokies there. 214, SMU, anything under a 7, which most spots are still 6.5. 6.5. Kind of a nice spot after they are down 48-0 to Cincy. They go up against Tulsa, and look, it just should be on the other side of the 7, in my opinion. So I think it's pretty fine. And then I'm just going to do one total now because I don't know how long it's going to last, and sometimes totals start moving tomorrow. But I have this projected nearly 79, 74 to 75 range, 221 Western Kentucky Marshall over. That's just going to be a track meet. I'm actually really excited to watch that game. 12:30 Pacific kickoff time Saturday, but I anticipate this only going up. Weather projected out to be pretty fair and normal. So just lock that in sooner rather than later. I don't want to look at 77 tomorrow or something during the show, and no one can bet it anymore. So we'll roll with that. A couple of ugly ones. Every once in a while I get a beard hair that just finds its way onto my lips.
My hair falls out, and
yours is like all over the desk.
Like
Qwan show Sunday. Beard hairs.
I inhale and like I'll get like Qwan hair in my mouth. It's terrible.
If you like pain, just gonna go through a couple more games here. At this point in the season, my volume goes down quite a bit. I try not to force stuff. I also respect the market more. It's just more efficient. There's probably a reason that USC closed. Look, the closing line value we had last week on Toledo, Florida, Washington, ASU, Tulane, the 3 totals, Southern Miss under, Michigan, Maryland over, Iowa State, OU under. Fantastic. The only one that didn't really move was USC plus 3.5. It went to 3 and then it went back to 3.5. That was telling, and it was dead wrong the whole way. They're getting 7 against BYU at home. Look, that's another one. Like, just incredibly bad line in theory, but the program's in disarray. How do you want to handicap that? They gave, was it 60-something that UCLA finally scored? Like, it just kept giving up points and points and points. I'm staying away. I respect the market. I was wrong last week. But in theory, I think getting 7 for USC is just too tall. It's an ugly one, but it also is 6.5 at Circa for what it's worth. Another one, which moved some today, but Temple was getting 13 at home to Navy, down to 12.5 some spots. There's still plenty of 13s, and Circa's to 11.5 for what it's worth. Look, Temple's, I don't think they've covered for like 7 years, but this is too high for a Navy team that hasn't really played or performed or graded well anyways. But another program, disarray, ugly as can be, interesting to just look at. But yeah, those were the two that I would say, along with another team that has cost a lot of people during. Look, I still don't get the Texas stuff. I'll just be honest. And I know it was. I'm going to go through and we'll do a recap on season win totals and futures and stuff when the season ends. I think we're going to end up doing pretty well overall on all those. But I loved the Texas was only 7.5. Like, everyone's dismissing them. Now you buy low, and everyone else is deciding to wait. They're 4-1, about to go to 5-1, up 18 in the fourth quarter against the Sooners. They give up 21 in a row. They lose that game, and they haven't won since. I still don't understand, like, what's the word? Just the pride level to just one loss like that to Oklahoma, and they just have no showed. And honestly, I think the very next game, I forget who it was against. They were up again double digits in the second half and blew it.
Wasn't it?
Maybe West Virginia, Oklahoma State, whoever it was, they were up double digits again and then blew it. What I'm getting at though, it moved up to 3 anyways. Okay, I was gonna say 2's a good buy. Someone bet that today since I had last looked. I wouldn't bet it now, but the 1.5, 2, 2.5 all morning was too low. But now it's 3, so it's probably closer. But look, Texas to only be 1 and 1.5, 2 at home. You're implying Kansas State's the better team. They have been this year. Overall, they're not the better program and probably not the better team. So someone bet that. They agreed. But that was another ugly one, along with Temple and USC, that I just decided to pass. But from a numbers perspective, they fit the bill. Everything else for me was pretty on market, to be completely honest. There might have been one more. Can't recall what it was. I thought I made a note of it, but it was a QB injury. The Auburn Bo Nix drop-off. Look, they were up 14-0 right away against South Carolina and then just blew that game. So, I don't know. That's probably just to stay away until they're playing Bama, and everyone's trying to fade Bama and find reasons to because they haven't played very well. 19.5. There's even a 20 out there. It's a lot of points for Auburn at home, but if they have no quarterback or offense, it's just going to be tough. So, keep an eye on it. If Bo Nix plays, I would bet Auburn at 20 or 19.5 for what it's worth. I think that's it, man. We're good. Any other callers?
No callers.
No?
We got some
Chat
chat
bets. Yeah, hit me with them. I'll check the link.
Fran, he also asked for Daniel Jones' first TD.
Okay. 24-1, I think it was. Yep.
Yeah. And Tom Davis, Mike Evans, first TD. No price on it.
I will look it up now.
And Alec.
6.5 to 1 plus 650.
Alec gave us Gio Bernard first TD 20-1.
The problem with not doing parlays is later in the month, everyone just takes shots on first touchdowns.
Later in the
not
month,
even doing
yeah.
Tomorrow there won't be an NFL game to do first TDs, but it's Monday. They're and then Thursday they'll definitely be doing the same exact thing. So the bets are a little more.
Well, we need to give them show schedule because Thursday and Friday we won't be here.
Oh, that's right. Which we can talk about that. By the way, Gio's 27-1. Is that what you got?
He had 20.
You can get 27.
There you go, Alec.
That's at Caesars. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday shows. Thanksgiving, we're taking the holiday, Thursday and Friday. You leave town for the weekend, right?
Yeah.
You don't get back until Monday sometime?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have Monday off too because you're flying back. So just so everyone's aware. And then we'll be back Tuesday, which should be November still. I'm going to double check. Yeah, we'll have the 30th. So there'll be one more day for people to kind of figure out the top of the leaderboard. But because there's no Thursday, Friday, Monday shows, you really only have 3 more days after today to lock in bets. So people taking long shots today makes some sense. If they hit, I mean, there's a good chance that they're taking the prize home. We got to think of something for Thanksgiving. Do you have somewhere to go for Thanksgiving? Did the Friendsgiving thing over the weekend happen, or what?
The Friendsgiving didn't happen. I may go to one of the PT guy that I used to work for. His family is out here. I think they live up in. His brother lives like in Beverly Hills or somewhere, so I may go there. I may just watch the Lions lose. It's a Thanksgiving tradition, like no.
Sounds wonderful. If you don't go up to the Beverly Hills and you don't want to watch the Lions lose, you can go down towards me too. All right, we got plenty of food and space.
Well, I'm obviously gonna watch the Lions lose regardless.
We'll watch the Lions lose
There you
too.
go.
So that's part of your day, no matter what. Do you pick the Thanksgiving games? Have you looked at them yet? Have you even looked at the line for the Lions?
I think I looked last night, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Hold on, let me pull them up. We got a couple more minutes anyways.
I was riding high off of my victories, 3.5.
You're like, I'm retiring for this season. So 3.5. The Lions are getting 3.5 at home. Look, this is the whole, like, Justin Fields is probably out because he got hurt. It's Andy Dalton. Tim Boyle probably again.
The last Bears backup quarterback that watched the Lions on
Finally got it.
Was Chase Daniel.
Chase Daniel, I remember that game. I was watching it.
It was against David Blau.
I was with my wife's family in Dallas, Texas, because Chase played high school ball at Southlake in Dallas, and they were like loving it because he was playing a game on. He has the best job in the world. He plays like twice a year, makes a couple million, and
that's it.
Love it. I always find myself finding ways to bet these games, even though there's usually never an actual edge. Remember how you said Nagy might win Coach of the Year?
Yes. I thought about
before the year. And now people are talking about how outside of the Gruden thing, and I'm not sure how books will grade it because he resigned. Nagy, if they lose this game, he'll be fired.
Yeah.
I'm like fairly certain.
I'm seeing Bears fans call for a Lions victory, and I can't wait for them to be as disappointed as Lions fans are.
So theoretically, what I'm getting at, hold on one second. There's like a 37% chance Nagy's fired on Thursday or after Thursday, which is pretty interesting because you thought he might win Coach of the Year, and he's this close to being fired.
Context to it.
No, but here, I talked about. I liked it. I liked the bet.
It was a good thought.
I liked it. You were playing the like really high ceiling, really crappy floor. Like you bet on someone because he was like 50-1 or something. He was like one of the lowest priced guys. Absolutely have a disaster season. He gets fired first, which is basically what's kind of playing out here. But in the case, say they were just really good out of the stretch. I know they had an easier early schedule. Maybe Justin Fields ends up being like Mac Jones or something. Then he's winning Coach. Like, it was fine. You were playing the high variance, wide distribution.
I was like light years ahead of you.
Yes. You didn't even know what you were doing, but you were doing it.
Clue.
I don't hate it, but it's just funny that we're now at the point where the Lions might be the one that gets him fired first.
They're not gonna.
And you were the one that picked him to win Coach of the Year.
That's gonna make me want to bet.
Do you guys? I mean, getting the hook, 3.5.
That game-winning field goal in Detroit is gonna be a killer.
Hard to lose by 4 more at home.
Come on, man.
Lions have played all these close games. Like they got steamed against Baker Mayfield, who can't throw a ball. He's playing with one arm. They didn't even give up 13.5 points. Like they could have, the Lions were getting 13.5 close to kickoff at a few spots. They've played a ton of these and covered a ton of these games. Why not this one? And why not this one be the W? Like outright W. I don't know. By the way, Dallas laying 7 to the Las Vegas Raiders. Kind of a weird bounce back off the weird KC. But is it a bounce back if Elliott and Cooper, I don't know if he'll be back in time. CeeDee Lamb, concussion protocol, short week. He's probably out. All linemen's out. Smith, I forget, one of their best guards. I couldn't touch that game, but no one really wants to jump on the Raiders either. But if Dallas can't move it, there's a few spots at 7.5 for what it's worth. I would lean the Raiders' way. That's all I'm getting at. And then the last one, Buffalo, New Orleans. This one's really interesting because Buffalo's just looks so. Since Josh Allen was the favorite to win MVP a few weeks ago, they've just looked absolutely dreadful.
Yeah.
They're laying 4.5 to the Saints on the road. Now it's Trevor Siemian. They just got routed by the Eagles. But you can run on Buffalo. Like, I kind of like the Saints there too, for what it's worth.
Do you think Taysom is going to take over?
I mean, they scored 30. Let me look. I don't remember the final. 29 points.
Yeah.
I mean, Simeon didn't play poorly. I know some of it was fourth quarter garbage time. Eagles were, I think, in prevent, your favorite defense in the fourth quarter. But he, threw for 3 TDs. I guess he didn't play as good as I remembered, actually. So he was just really bad for like 3 quarters. Yeah, maybe it should be Taysom. The problem is he didn't even, is Taysom even healthy himself? That's been the thing, is he's like.
I've heard some Phillip Rivers rumblings. Like, he would entertain a call is what keeps getting thrown out there. Which.
Hold on, from who? Who did you hear that
Phillip
from?
Rivers actually, he's been quoted as saying that. Like, he would entertain a call.
I somehow missed this if this was a thing. I mean.
No is the answer, obviously.
Is Trevor Siemian the answer? Like, that's a perfect fit, right? Hold on, let's look at the NFL standings, and then we'll wrap up the show because we have day 4, higher stakes. Who wants to be betting extraordinaire here in about 4 minutes? Oh, good. Let's keep the line down. Front page of ESPN, the state of Florida football, what's gone wrong and how it can be fixed. How about they try to win and get into a bowl game by beating an inferior squad? Holy crap, Houston is crushing Butler early, that game that he called in and bet 22-6. What did I say? I was going to look at the standings. How I want to get an idea of where the Saints are at from a playoff perspective. Because the Phillip Rivers thing is like not awful. You think it is. Yeah, they're in 7th right now. They have a tiebreaker over the Niners at 5-5. If they can finish with 9 wins, they're probably in. Man, that is interesting. Phillip Rivers thought he was dead. I'm kind of rooting for that now.
The wild card is crazy. It's like what? Eagles, Washington, Rams, Niners, Vikings, Saints, Panthers, even the Falcons. It's like they're all like a game, 2 games.
Yeah, a bunch of 5-6, 5-5 right there. So get Phillip Rivers. He's better than Simeon probably, especially running like a Sean Payton offense where, I don't know, I kind of like it. I didn't know that was a rumor until just now, but it's getting me excited. All right, we'll wrap it up. Qwan, happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you tomorrow, though, either way. I'll wish you happy Thanksgiving like 3 times this week. Thanks to all those that called in. 2 minutes. Who wants to be betting extraordinaire? Day 4. Is it Patrick and Jamie? USC, UCLA overtook them to the promised land. They each cashed $250. One question away from $2,500, which would be tomorrow. And then day 7 wouldn't be until they'd have to wait till after the holiday if they get to the $25K question. But that, yeah, it's the only way. We got to ice them. So we planned the holiday exactly for this. That's that. We'll talk to you guys soon. Separate link, but until tomorrow for Last Word Cheetah's listeners, we'll be back 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific here on Bets TV.